Yes, so what you are looking at right now is one of the two brand new reinforcements coming to Star Wars Battlefront 2 on March 26th alongside the new game mode. This is the Arc Trooper, who is dual wielding, get this, 2 DC-17 pistols, and he looks absolutely awesome here. And then we cannot forget about the second reinforcement, the Droid Commando, who is not only wielding his precision E5 blaster rifle, but also carries a Vibrosword as well. We're going to go into all of the details on both the Droid Commando and the Arc Trooper. So hit that like button. Let's go for 5,000 likes for these two new reinforcements. I am super excited for these, and hats off to the team at DICE for creating these. These are absolutely incredible looking. So let's dive into their abilities first. So let's take a look at the Arc Trooper's abilities, which include the Power Blast, Helmet Scanner, and Shock Trap. And then if we head over to the Droid Commando, his three abilities include Sinister Strikes, which is basically his Vibrosword ability, his Smokescreen, and Thermal Vision. Now we're going to dive into all of these abilities a little bit more and go into complete detail right now. So let's take a look at it here and see what's in store for us when we play with these awesome reinforcements. So let's start off with the Arc Trooper and go into a little bit more detail about his dual pistol. So it says the following. It says, the Arc Trooper is a gung-ho attacker that rushes into battle wielding his trusty DC-17 pistols. Yes, you read that correctly. Pistols, plural. Now, it says this unit can dual wield pistols and fire them independently, effectively doubling his rate of fire. Now, I'm really curious to see how that's going to be mapped on the controller, or if you're playing on PC. Will you be able to control the left pistol with like the, left trigger and then the right pistol with the right trigger? We'll have to see how that all works. Now, let's take a look at his first ability, his Power Blast ability. So it says, with short-ranged blasters, the Arc Trooper needs something more versatile for more distant foes. To extend his reach, the Arc Trooper's Power Blast ability overcharges his primary pistol to fire a powerful blast, giving him his otherwise short to medium ranged arsenal a ranged attack that can also be used against vehicles. Aim your shot well, and it might do just as well against an enemy villain too. So he's going to be super useful, not only against, regular troopers, but vehicles and heroes as well. Now, let's go on to his next ability, the Helmet Scanner. It says, for additional battle awareness, the Arc Trooper can activate his Helmet Scanner, which lowers his range finder. This emits continuous scan pulses to reveal his enemies even through walls. This time between pulses is longer than how long enemies will be revealed by each pulse. So you'll still need general battle awareness not to lose track of your foe. So there's going to be some, open space there between pulses, if that makes sense. Now, let's move on to his third and final ability here. So this one is his Shock Trap. So it says, finally, when encountering a powerful enemy, the Arc Trooper can even the odds with his Shock Trap. Its throwable device is manually detonated and delivers an electrical current that knocks down any enemies within its range. This is useful for both flanking larger groups of enemies and for tipping the scale in favor for you and your allies, including if you need a tactical retreat. So that one is extremely useful, and that combined with his other abilities and his dual wielding pistols is going to be extremely powerful. The Arc Trooper is sounding like, a unit that I think everyone's going to go to, of course, in this new large-scale game mode when everything releases on March 26th. But What about the Commando Droid? What about the Commando Droid? So let's talk about the Commando Droid's abilities, his blaster, his Vibrosword, and all of that. So let's jump to that right now, starting off with his blaster. So it says the BX Droid is arguably one of the most lethal units in the Separatist army. Armed with a modified E5 blaster rifle commonly used by B1 battle droids, the BX trades rate of fire for higher precision in long-range encounters. Now, for its first ability, it says the following. It says, with the modified blaster covering the BX at longer ranges, it also wields a Vibrosword to get the edge it needs to excel in close quarters combat. How cool is that? Now, it says, using either the melee button or the Sinister Strikes ability, both have the same function. The BX droid can unleash up to 3 sword strikes in a row before requiring a brief cooldown. While the strikes don't deal much more damage than a regular trooper's melee strike, they are significantly faster, and the final strike is so powerful it will knock an enemy to the ground. Honestly, this is probably going to be one of my all-time favorite abilities in the whole game. I cannot wait to use the Vibrosword of the BX battle droid. It's going to be amazing. So if you look at this footage here, you can see him pull it out at the last second there, and he looks extremely fast as well. I'm not sure exactly how fast he is compared to a regular droid, but my guess is that he will run a lot faster. He just looks so cool. I cannot wait to play with him. Now, let's move on to his second ability, his smokescreen ability. So it says, the BX can also deploy a smokescreen by throwing a smoke bomb at its feet. The surrounding area will immediately be filled with very dense smoke that even removes basic UI elements like name tags and outlines, so the enemy view is blocked. So that's going to be super powerful and very useful for your team as well, because you can really provide cover for your team and provide that additional support with the Droid Commando. Now, finally, the Droid Commando has thermal vision as well. So it says, additionally, you can pair the smokescreen with its final ability, thermal vision, for a devastating result. It makes the BX's eyes glow red and allows it to see where enemies are located, including through walls and other obstructions. This ability also scrambles enemy scanners to further confuse and disorient them. So, you know, this one, of course, coupled with his smokescreen, is going to be super powerful, confuse the enemy, provide cover for your team, and it's sounding like the Droid Commando is going to be a very, very lethal reinforcement on the battlefront. And I'm curious to see how he's going to work in the new large-scale game mode as well. Now, get this. These two new reinforcements, they have brand new star cards as well. And I believe it's 5 star cards that they both share. So let's take a look at those. So it says all 5 star cards are shared between both units. So it says the first 2 are Evasion, where it says you have +1 combat roll and faster combat roll recharge times. And then the second one is Desperation, which reduces ability recharge times when damage is dealt to you. And it says they're unlocked at level 2. So those are the beginning star cards there. Now, moving on to the other 3, we have Interrogation, which says forcefully reveal nearby enemy locations by defeating an opponent using melee strike. So that's going to be really useful for that Vibrosword ability, of course. Now, that unlocks at level 5. So does Acquisition, which says enemies dealing damage to you will be temporarily marked for easier retaliation. So that's a really, really cool one. That's kind of like marking the enemy as your, you know, MVP target, if you will. So that's very, very useful. Now, Stalker is the final one that's unlocked at level 10, and it says regain health when defeating an enemy you have revealed with helmet scanner or thermal vision. So this all works for both the Arc Trooper and the Droid Commando, of course, and they're officially a part of the Infiltrator class. So if I didn't say that at the beginning, they're part of the Infiltrator reinforcement class. So in case I didn't say that, that is official, and that comes from the new DICE community transmission, of course. But let's take a look at these animations one more time before we end the video, and let's just drool over the Commando Droid and the new Arc Trooper. How cool are they? They are absolutely amazing, and again, hats off to the team at DICE for their hard work on these reinforcements. Again, they just look absolutely incredible. My mind is blown. I'm very, very excited to play with these reinforcements, and hopefully this is just the beginning for reinforcements this year. You know, we've been talking about how we want new heroes, but I think the discussion needs to go on about reinforcements as well. You know, I want to see, you know, droidicas, of course. It would be cool to see Republic Commandos added as well on top of all of this. So let me know, what additional reinforcements do you want to see added to Star Wars Battlefront 2 beyond March as we go into the rest of 2019? Let me know in the comments down below. Then also, let me know what other heroes you want to see as well. I want to see Ahsoka, Ventress, Mace Windu, Captain Rex. And Captain Rex, I would think, would be a hero they could easily add into the game because, you know, they've already gotten the dual wielding tech into the game officially as of with the Arc Trooper. So I think the next step is to add Captain Rex into the game and maybe Cad Bane and dual wielding heroes like that. How about Jango Fett? So that'd be awesome to see. But there's a lot to cover in this video. As you can tell, I'm super, super pumped for this update on March 26th. And, you know, I'll be talking about more and more in the future. And then also, don't forget, they will be doing a community transmission on the new large-scale game mode, revealing the name for that game mode, and then revealing the details on that game mode as well. But I will see you all next time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and may the Force be with you always.
Wow.